All right, today we're gonna go to space, and it might be kind of weird. This is the second day or third day, pretty much the second day I have this device, and I have learned that the International Space Station was kind enough to share their experience, so you can actually go to ISS on this platform. It's really cool. It's quite disconcerting. What's weird about it for me is that the way my space is configured. So I don't have a lot of space around me. I'm on the sofa, and that's in my space. And then I won't be on the sofa during this mission, I promise. And then there's a desk and clutter and all kinds of things in here. So I do intend to clear out the room. It's ideal to have a nice big space, maybe the size of this little dojo of mine, this little living room that I might have in. I guess this would be potentially, if you see Mount Fuji, I think it's probably Tokyo. I might be mistaken. But anyway, my little Zendo here, where I live, right? And then, if you have a space like that, that would be great. You can't see the boundaries, but I'm always pushing the boundaries. You get this red circle when the controller's outside of the fence, and you see the fence in terms of like big plus signs or like a curtain around you if you're getting close to it. So that in space on the ISS can be really disconcerting, okay? Because you have to mind your existing space, and then you have to mind multidimensional, like four-dimensional space in space. So, quite disconcerting, but we're going to do it anyway because that's what we do. And another thing I found about this game or this interaction experience is that it's quite psychoactive if you're psychic. So when you're in this game, if you're psychic, you may experience thoughts, all kinds of annoying thoughts, like be polite to people, which is kind of weird when you're all kinds of ways in space trying to orient yourself, and then somebody in the thought world says something like that. But I find that if there is something like that, an International Space Station, well, it would have all kinds of craziness like that that's inherently floating around in there. It just does have that. And so it's very psychoactive. If you're psychic, we're going to go in there. And another thing about it is, this is also going to sound weird because I'm not a police officer, but I have a strong idea that I will be in the future. So so going to space would like be after my police career, and they would chide me a little bit, like, oh yeah, the police, like, you're all rookies. We hate babysitting you when you come up here to space, and they're just kidding around, right? Because really, you're a cop in space, and but except you don't come from a science background, and you're just a guy with a gun that when they're here on Earth for the limited time that they're here, you write them tickets or something if they're speeding, and they're like, I'm trying to get to the space base so I can go to space. I'm never on Earth. Go away, like that. So anyway, we're gonna start the game. I guess a game. I'm gonna see if I can get into. I hope I can do this to get into space without like going through some tutorial or something, because that stuff is copyrighted. So I just want to kind of show you like floating around without, and then there might be a copyright claim. Okay, that's understandable. If the content producers want to do that, well, they generally get the advertising revenue or something. They put an ad on the video or something, and they get the revenue or something. Well, that's okay with me. I just want to show you what this is like, the experience is like. So it's not that I want to share their copyright stuff with people. But anyway, let's go. All right. Let's see. All right. So here we go. Mission ISS. All right. Now we'll stand up. All right. All right. right? For me, this is not as disconcerting as you would think, because I don't have the feeling of inertia or gravity. If you're really there, well, you still wouldn't have gravity, so you wouldn't be plummeting to Earth or something. But, you know, it's probably not as scary as you think. The worst that could happen is you die in your spacesuit and you drift off into space and you soon die. And what a way to go, right? Lived all this great life, you've done all this training, and then suddenly you're in heaven again, a heavenly realm, or reborn, whatever. All right.
Please select Training, Mission, or Explorer mode.
I think this will allow us to do stuff without copyright infringement things. Hopefully we can. Let's try it. That's your controls, right? All right. Now, when they say press any button but that Oculus button. Don't be a smartass, because you know what that does. That gets to your menu, sends you home. All right. Here we are. As I said, once we start moving, quite disconcerting to me, and I have to get away from my couch, but I'm also near a boundary here. I might be up against my desk. I have to sort of look around where I am, and I won't be able to do that and get through space, I'm telling you, at the same time. Also, where are we in the craft? Well, we have to take a look at our tablet. We're at node 2, and, so which way is destiny? Well, this is an intersection, isn't it? Or is it? Well, we're in the... Do those doors open to space? Well, I think they do, so don't mess with it. So where are we? Let's take a look. Well, that there is Gibbo. That there is Columbus, right? That there, next one, is Destiny. And then all the way down, node 1 and node 3, which is where the crafts dock and the shuttles dock. And then Quest Airlock. I don't know my way around, but as you can see, we're starting to go through the floor. So it's a little bit disturbing, so we're going to grab onto these bars. And if we want to reorient ourselves to have a different ceiling and a different floor, we can, there's a button on the right hand yoke, and that will rotate you 30 degrees each time, and you sort of do 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees. It's kind of a little weird when you're in motion as well, but you sort of do that. All right. So obviously you don't want to bump into these packages. It really is bad for you to send these packages somewhere. Don't do that. Don't be that person that, if you are in space or even simulating, does that grab or doesn't know what you're grabbing at, grabs onto things, and that's where I bring up the police. It's like that's where that's where also the psychic world would be active. Like mind what you're grabbing onto, and and that will start in a minute, and I'll help you with that by telling you some of what's going on, and mind what you're grabbing onto, and you cops are all the same. You come up here and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, blah blah blah, right? Which I don't know how many police officers have been on this space station, but anyway, all right, now, okay, well, right. So inertia, the property of inertia. Now we have a yoke here that allows us to do that swimming thing that they do, where you can swim through here. So swim here, right? Pretty much straightforward. We have tools that we would know how to. Obviously, these are simple tools. Many of us know how to use these things. Let me see if I can get one. So. All right. Now, as we start to float, I wanted to know where that duct tape is, because I saw duct tape when I came in here, and I just wanted to know, curiously, what happened to it. But I guess it could be anywhere now. That's probably frustrating about being in space. All right. So this is very disconcerting as we float here, and my orientation is off about how I'm standing in my room or where I'm standing, and I have to mind my room so I don't bump into my desk or stub my toe on the sofa, and also navigate the space station. We're going to clear my room so that doesn't happen, probably, because I really think that it would be best if we did. So as we look into that module, Destiny, you can see on the floor something that looks like an EMT board that you would be strapped to. That is actually the medical table for emergencies, and if anything, God forbid, should go wrong on your mission, that's where you'll be mounted, and whoever's most senior in medicine will help you out, I guess. Anyway, what's this? I want to know. You can't open these things, and you can't mess with stuff. It just doesn't happen when you're just poking around. All right. And now, let's move our motion. Now, that is planet Earth. And sometimes she is over us, and sometimes she is under us. But in reality, technically she's... Well, you can think of it in different ways. It's best to think of it as under you. But, she could be over us. Depends. We could also rotate. If that window was over us, she would be over us. So we can rotate a little bit. Not be afraid, like a little police officer, a little scared little kid with a police background, right? That I don't have yet. So we're talking years in the future. If I do get here, it would be through that, I think, would be... What the heck is that? Mist? I bet there is mist in space. Okay. All right, so we now are a little disconcerted. We don't know up from down, but we can look at those computers and see that we're upside downified to where we were. So we somehow rotated manually without the yoke. I didn't touch the yoke. Now I'm trying to rotate it with the yoke. It's even more disconcerting. And when I bump into the wall, it almost feels like I'm outside of the craft, like my spirit has gone through the entire wall and I'm in space. So I don't know if that is a feeling they feel up there, or if that's just the effect of being on this virtual reality when you're not floating, but you're guided to think that you're floating. Okay, well, it is really disconcerting up here, but not as much as you would think, right? So that person, that patient, God forbid they should be strapped up there. To some people, it might look like they're on the ceiling, quite revolting. And then if you had to do CPR in that orientation, well, that would be quite a bitch. So, the main thing is, don't get sick in space. All right, that's why they don't send physical specimens that aren't at their best, which is why I probably won't find myself out there at all, to be honest with you. But anyway, all right. Because it would definitely be a little police officer that gets himself into a tizzy, right? And gets strapped up there. Maybe he goes crazy and they have to strap him. You have delusions, and we'll take you back to Earth. We'll get a shuttle just for you, even though it wasn't supposed to be due for months and months and months. Although they wouldn't do that. It would be months and months and months. So I'd be strapped there for months and months and months, right? They might let me go to the head and strap you back in. Crazy. Shut up. Anyway, all right. What do we got here? All right. This is... Let's rotate into an orientation that fits better, right? So, that's going to be a bitch, but let's try that out. All right. Okay, I think we need the computers to be right side up. We need to be as if we're... So, rotating the yoke, maybe... Okay, let's continue rotating the yoke. All right. Now, I don't know where I am in my physical room, so I'm about to bump into something here, I guess. I don't know. It really is annoying that I have to monitor where I am in my room and then in the space station. Okay, and that just doesn't work for me very well, but let's rotate here, see if we can get this equipment the way we want it. Because in real life, I think it would be a lot easier, just like swimming. You grab onto this, and suddenly you're right side up, which I did before without the yoke, so I think we could do that method as well. But kind of, because it's a game and we can't really do that. So, yeah, now I'm getting it. Mind what you're bumping into, mind what we're grabbing onto. Yes, I think those commands are set in in the space station so that people don't do that. Everyone pretty much is psychic, I think, when you get to that level. So I imagine that's in there. All right, okay. Now, I can't get the orientation I want for the equipment, so the equipment's just going to have to be upside down, because in real life, yeah, I could grab this, I could pull myself that way, and soon I would be correctly facing the interface. But here, you know, and if you can't work a computer, well, you can't work this. So you would have to, you know what I'm saying? So that's what their thinking is on that, I guess. But anyway, I think it's a little bit messed up. But anyway, fireport. All right, so fireport. That interests me. Fireport. What do you think that does? Fireport. This is the fireport, right? So what do you think happens? Because I don't know what would happen if you take water and try to suppress a fire in space. What do you think that is? Well, I'm sure that's explained by astronauts in detail as needed, but just as a first responder in the future, I just wouldn't want to know. But anyway, quit poking around, cop. All right. So, so I am gonna quit poking around, but this is just fun, just to drift around. And so we know that, what do we know about where we're going? That says to Module 1. So that's essentially what you would think of as the head or crown of the ship. That's where, off to the right, Module 3 will be. I think we'll go to Module 3 because that's really exciting. That's where the cupola is, and that's really exciting. People like that. That's the main attraction on board. The thing about that is there's another orientation thing where you're supposed to be upside down. Your head is supposed to be in the cupola. But we can also go in there the other way, but there is that annoying thing about trying to rotate. All right, let's go. All right. That's where I go right through the floor, which is quite weird. All right, but doesn't happen in real life, I don't think. So where it says this is really where the cupola is. I thought it said 2-3, Module 3. So if it said to Module 3, then that's the airlock, and you're looking at some spacesuits, which I want to put on, but I don't think you can. All right, obviously not in the game. But yeah, again, a lot of people would bump into those packages. I did send them around. It really doesn't feel good. So I could do that for you if I wanted to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. All right, look at all the patches. Whoa. Look at all the patches, all the missions that came here, all the countries that came here. I think primarily U.S., but not entirely. All right, let's go. All right, let's go over there, in there. Don't push that package. I probably will. I might bump into it here. If I do, the cargo is stowed down there, so I could push it in there, but they probably want it where it is, right? Someone probably wants it there. Maybe not. Some stuff does shift around. So we could, well, we sent it off. My bad. I wanted to put it in here slowly. If you slowly push it in there, you can sort of get it out of the way. It would just stay there. Now, I went and did that, so the stupid cop got shit where he shouldn't be. Right here, off to my left, is my desk, I guess. Real room, and it's really freaking annoying me. The game is annoying me about where I am, but my desk isn't there. It showed me my desk, but I'm up against my sofa. So I don't know what the Christ is going on. But anyway, all right, so that can be annoying about this. Just mind your space. For most of you, you have a good amount of space around you, and you have it the way you want it, and you probably don't have your couch right there. So let's go in here. All right. Don't shove it again, right? But if we wanted to, maybe just a very tiny tap. Right? Just like, and I can pick it up and I can grab it too. So we can sort of put it where it was a little bit. So like right there. There, it was hanging out right there. And it's probably gonna go all over the ship. Yep. Right? My bad. Little cop. Little American dweeb cop who doesn't know science, hasn't practiced, and didn't go to all that Air Force crap to do all this stuff. Just came up here with like 10 years experience with a gun and a badge, right? Which I don't think will happen. But anyway, all right, let's go here. You have to be a really special cop, right? All right, there it is, people. The cupola. So right now, Earth is above us. You believe that shit? So it's weird, right? So Earth is above us. And that way, infinite space. So let's go up there. And I did get it over my head this time, so I came in the right direction. I didn't have to flip myself. But anyway, there she is. And now as we move up in here, right, where my head is just peeking out up here, and I can dock that next module to come up here, and I can use these things to get it situated and use this to see what I'm doing. It takes a while, and you have to have patience, and it takes time, but Cop would essentially be able to be trainable to do that shit if they were pilots, especially. If they're pilots and a cop, right, which does exist, then the next step is to learn all this crap. So anyway, I'm just suggesting that could be a thing. But anyway, look at her, look at her, look at us. Wow, I'm on there somewhere. Where are we looking at? Well, it looks like the Middle East or something. It looks like Israel right there, but I can't be sure about that because it's not Israel, because it's like a large sea, like it's like it might be the Dead Sea, like we might be looking at but then again, well, it looks like anything. It looks like Spain, but it doesn't have the ocean. So anyway, all right. So we'll shift around time to time, right? Land-loving cop doesn't like to float a lot and gets a little scared and holds onto the little rail, but so would you. All right, look. All right, see that stuff? You know that stuff. You've seen that stuff. That's the solar array and stuff like that. So here we are, and if we wanted to, of course they're like, mind what you're grabbing at, be careful, and all that shit. But anyway, like, this is the lever, does all the work, that gets the arm, I think, pulls it in, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the yoke that controls the vehicle kind of oppositely, kind of mirror-like, because of what they call it. I don't remember what they call it, but just based on the name, that's my understanding. All right, and I'm a graduate level cop, so I'd be like maybe a police chief one day. I don't know, but I would. So I'm a funny kind of guy. All right. Anyway, a mixture of everything, right? All right. Now, so the one thing I don't want to do is the thing I'm training into, right? And never do, right? You do the school, you go through the homework, and you like graduate and get a degree in something probably you will never use. But family therapy, yeah, I can see myself doing that for a little bit. But maybe it's better just doing stuff like this for therapy, right? Like going to the space station, all you need, right? But if you have some type of mental illness, such as intellectual disability, you probably don't want to be up here. They probably can't have that up here. But you can be here in this way. All right. Okay. All right. So, look at that. Look at space. And it's inverted. So look at how there's space weather, and that's appears to be the creation of a new universe. Now, I'm kind of young in terms of astronomy. Don't know exactly know what I'm looking at, but I always think when I see something like that, that's like a big bang of another universe. But it could be mistaken. It could be a gas cloud. It could be a galaxy. I don't know. That's what it is, and it's weirdly below us. So we could fall into space, but let's hope that never happens. Huh? All right, let's see if we can get a closer look. Right? I'm hoisting myself up as about to the top, but let's see if we see what that thing is. Hold on. All right, let's see if we can see what that is. Well, we can. I wanted to see. It moves so fast. This thing moves a gazillion miles an hour. Fast. So, different air hoses, connections, presumably to a spacesuit. If this becomes an airlock, does it become an airlock? I don't believe so, right? I could be wrong, because, I mean, if you're bringing a module in here from somewhere else, they have to come in somewhere. I don't know. Is there an airlock? Yeah, there are. There are airlocks here. So, if you come in, you're in a spacesuit, they can connect you up to this and crap, and then sort of help you decompress and get out of that and crap like that. So, what happens so this presumably closes us in here, and then all the doors are closed, and then they can open the door to space, which is a vacuum. I don't know how that works 100%. And then that looks like a kind of like something you would see in a warehouse where it takes stock and cargo and people and things out from those craft that come up here and gets them in, kind of like that. Looks kind of like that to me. Just as poking around as an average American who knows about that stuff and that sort of stuff like that, but not much more. All right. So mind what you're grabbing at or poking at. Don't grab the computer. Never grab the computer. That would always be in the psychic internet. Like, don't touch them. Like that's there. That is there. Which I'm glad the psychic internet is there to the degree it is to help people along. But I've experienced advertisements and I've experienced like conspiracy in my life, and I don't appreciate that about it at all. And that was my psychic awakening through that. And that's probably because I'm becoming a police officer, or should be a police officer. And people want to hold you down when you're going to have power like that, and when you're righteous about it, and you're a Buddhist and upstanding citizen and stuff. So, yeah, they come at you. And a Taoist too, just so you understand the context of weaponry and fighting within that community. And there's things called the Dharma Defenders. I feel I was one as well. So kind of the Shaolin tradition of being able to defend yourself and stand up for yourself and show others how to defend themselves, but also live a peaceful life where you believe in nonviolence and you accomplish things without violence. So let's get out of here, I guess. And I'm going to end the game, but it was fun playing this, and I want to see if we wanted some cargo, we would have to dig around and see exactly what we wanted, right? And we have to like peek at what country it's for and make sure we're not touching shit that mail that belongs to another country or something. And I guess we would like this. It's labeled in English ATV3 and says 17 items. We can take that out, but if we take that out, what will happen to this? So we sort of have a mess. So again, they're like, mind what you're grabbing onto, but I'm just holding here. But again, this is like a frame which you might not be wanting to grab onto. And in real life, can I really hold on to this with my fingers? Well, maybe not so much, but anyway. All right, so let's see if there's a bar. There is. Oh, you didn't grab it though. All right, that's a white. Oh, the white bar is barely visible. Is there? No, there isn't a bar there. Anyway, all right. So, can I get that? No. These are just decorations, apparently, or the force of momentum. I can't get. I can't grab. Well, that nosy cop trying to get all our cargo and stuff, right? Trying to get. Well, I just want to know how it works. Yeah, grabbing everything all that way, right? Poke and destroy, right? There's that song by presidents of the United States. Poke and destroy, I'm a boy. I just want to poke and destroy, right? So this is fun, just floating. But you have to be mindful, where are we going? Okay, airlock that way. I want to go in there because I never experienced that. And then I'll shut it down. Okay, all right. So if I wanted to get into a spacesuit, I would have to do a 180 in the air. I don't know how I would do that. But if I was grabbing onto this bar, I could probably swing it, right? But let's see if we can move this. That's probably the package I moved earlier. But they just kind of hang around. Sometimes you do bump into them, I guess, from what the astronaut said on YouTube. But anyway, it is in my way, but I can also avoid it being in my way. But there it is. Stupid cop playing volleyball with the cargo, right? So if we have that, we can sort of, you know how inertia works. So we don't want it to keep moving. But we can sort of, oh yeah, see, that's where you need all the science and the training and those months and months and years of Air Force, all that crap, being underwater and stuff. So what's out there? Oh, this is where our shit is regulated, apparently. This is where our life support is. What that's for, maybe when they open this, I don't know. Or is it the entire life support for the ship? Crap, space station, whatever you call it. I call it ship. Okay. Well, I probably don't want to be here if I'm not prepared for it, but This is where I guess you would do your spacewalks. And I am sweating my ass off in this mask. You have to keep taking this off and cleaning it. There's one thing about this virtual reality. It's not. So if I came from if I truly came from the year 22,000, we don't have this stuff anymore. It would just be digital in the end. But anyway, it would be in a hole in it. But anyway, here we are. All right, 2020. I'm gonna end the experience, but I really do appreciate your hanging with me.